Moving on, wrapping up President Yoon's diplomacy in the global arena this year, our presidential correspondent Oh Soo-young highlights major achievements made by the South Korean leader in keywords.
South Korea's trilateral cooperation with the United States and Japan was at the core of President Yoon Suk Yeol's summit diplomacy in 2023. First, South Korea's military-focused alliance with the US, based on the Mutual Defense Treaty signed 70 years ago, became a global comprehensive strategic alliance, broadening their scope of cooperation to areas like tech, climate, energy, and more. This came as Presidents Yoon and Joe Biden announced the Washington Declaration in April, amid North Korea's growing nuclear threat, setting out new measures to boost confidence in America's extended deterrence policy. This created the creation of the Nuclear Consultative Group, under which the two sides will discuss and develop joint nuclear response guidelines to a potential North Korean nuclear strike. The document was also a major step towards the Camp David trilateral agreements with Japan in mid-August. After the rapprochement between Seoul and Tokyo, the three leaders inked documents on their shared commitment and course of action for Indo-Pacific security and prosperity, joint responses to North Korea's security threat through missile information sharing and combined military drills, and an agreement to consult each other on regional security challenges. With over a dozen diplomatic trips this year, the South Korean leader also expanded Seoul's diplomatic horizons, given the continued geopolitical risks to global security and economies that challenge the post-war world order of globalization, free trade, and multilateral institutions. Thus, Yoon has been pushing for value-based multilateral cooperation, for a rules-based world order to stabilize trade and regional security and tackle climate, digital, and global development challenges. He pledged Seoul's contributive diplomacy, even visiting Ukraine to show South Korea's value-based solidarity and leading global discussions on establishing new digital norms on areas like artificial intelligence. But particularly with a focus on economic security, Yoon called himself the salesman of Korea, aiming to procure critical supply chains and energy sources and strike up partnerships on developing new advanced technologies for South Korea's export-dependent economy. Major deals include the Downing Street Accords with the UK on deepening security and economic ties, including jointly developing quantum technology that could neutralize North Korean missiles. A semiconductor alliance was forged with the Netherlands to work on cutting-edge R&D in the technology, which is South Korea's #1 export item. Yoon also strengthened ties with Southeast Asian countries, sealing deals on mineral cooperation and closer trade with Vietnam and Indonesia. State visits to the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, followed by a bilateral free trade agreement with Abu Dhabi, marked a new timely chapter for South Korea's Middle East diplomacy, as the post-oil era brings both crises and opportunities to Arab states as crude suppliers and South Korea as a major importer. Next year, economic security will likely continue topping the diplomatic agenda as Seoul looks to develop new export industries in areas like bio, defense, smart agriculture and nuclear plants. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.